days of Elijah, declaring the word of the Lord.
Welcome to Love's Last Call with Evangelist Carol Ann of Agape Light Ministries. Please open your hearts to hear an anointed message that will encourage and empower you to walk in the love and light of God's Word.
Beloved, we are in part 4 of The Stage is Being Set, and today I will continue to address some of the many factors that are giving credence to the reality that everything needed for the fulfillment of God's prophetic word of truth is being readied, giving certainty that we are in the final prophetic moments before the rapture of God's true church and the tribulation period, which will follow that glorious event. Not only are we in the throes of the revisited days of Noah, Lord Jesus said would be one of the major signs of his return, but the rebuilding of the Tower of Babel is almost complete, as the stage is being set for the entrance of the man of lawlessness to appear as the counterfeited Savior of the world and to rule the people of earth from the pinnacle of his global tower of power. Through the many technological innovations that have surpassed man's imagination, along with the spirit of deception, which is stronger and more beguiling in this age than it has ever been, the people of earth are being led into the enemy's web of destruction, like sheep being led to the slaughter, as they succumb to the lies of the agents of darkness, who, like the Pied Piper, are seductively drawing them into the Antichrist persuasions with their captivating sorceries. We are going to look in particular at 2 of these servants of Lucifer, who are playing a vital role in the final preparation for the Antichrist, who will be Lucifer's golden boy, so to speak, and his primary conduit, along with the false prophet, to gain the worship of the world that he has always longed for. The first is Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, and the second is Yuval Noah Harari, who is his advisor and a major player in the WEF's Great Reset and transhumanism goals. In a commentary entitled Behind the Great Reset, they write that Klaus Schwab and Dr. Yuval Noah Harari are the 2 key leaders of creating, narrating, and implementing the Great Reset agenda. Klaus Schwab, a German engineer and economist, is the founder of the World Economic Forum and the author of COVID-19, The Great Reset, and The Great Narrative. Headquartered in the town of Davos, Switzerland, the World Economic Forum was established in 1971 by Schwab, but it operated under the radar until it co-sponsored, along with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Event 201, an October 2019 exercise that simulated a coronavirus pandemic with microbes transferred from bats to humans, and recommended a draconian crackdown on misinformation through big tech censorship. The fact that Event 201 occurred immediately before the COVID outbreak set off alarm bells to anyone with discernment. A second major revelation about the World Economic Forum came in August of 2020, when Harry Vox and Shai Danon explored the WEF website and found that its COVID-19 transformation map contained layer upon layer of information planning the global response to COVID, plans that would have required ages to develop. The original 78-minute video was scrubbed by YouTube. An even bigger reveal had come on July 9, 2020, when Klaus Schwab, the WEF's executive chairman, published his book, COVID-19, The Great Reset. The World Health Organization had not yet declared COVID-19 to be a pandemic until March of 2020. How and why did Schwab get his book researched, written, and published so fast? It was Schwab who coined the phrase, "Build Back Better," that so many leaders have echoed. He boasts that the 3,800 graduates of his World Economic Forum's Global Leaders of Tomorrow, which was a one-year program that ran from 1993 to 2003, and Young Global Leaders, which started in 2004 and is still running, includes names like Bill Gates, Angela Merkel, Justin Trudeau, Emmanuel Macron, Chelsea Clinton, Nathaniel Rothschild, and Mark Zuckerberg, as well as notable people from every sector in pretty much every country. The WEF is backed by the financial resources of many of the wealthiest people in the world, who for the most part might be described as having the muddled thinking and pseudoscience of self-appointed masters of the universe. In June of 2020, the 50th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum was held under the name of the Great Reset and brought together high-profile business and political leaders, including George Soros and Donald Trump. It was convened by Prince Charles of Wales, who since Queen Elizabeth's death on September 8, 2022, is now King Charles III, and the WEF, with the theme of rebuilding society and the economy following COVID-19. Since its inception, and even before, Klaus Schwab has made it very clear that he plans to transform the whole world by changing its many systems, most dangerously including what it means to be human. At the forefront of this is an arrangement in which people have no privacy, which will be accomplished by a surveillance state, and that they will own nothing and be happy. Of course, if you own nothing, who will own everything? It will be the state, that is, the Marxist system, that is ruled by behind-the-scenes oligarchs. And we can be sure that the oligarchs themselves, such as Schwab, Bill Gates, George Soros, etc., have no intention of sacrificing their own personal wealth or owning nothing. But here again, this is only the stage being set, for the Antichrist will control everything and everyone, including the oligarchs, who, whether they are aware of it or not, are his darkened minions who are preparing the way for this man of lawlessness to control the entire world. And they will be under his complete control and tyranny, along with every other person on earth. And speaking of control, not surprisingly, the WEF is a big fan of lockdowns. Schwab's views on vaccines are the same as Bill Gates, which is, nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated. In the era of mRNA vaccines, it is no surprise to see that Schwab wants to alter humanity by editing our genes. He also wants everyone to be microchipped. In one of the many video clips of him, Schwab speaks of sensors being implanted in our brains while saying that the future is already here. Not only will people be transhumanized, artificial food will become a new normal. An Israeli firm says that it can now produce meat from a 3D printer. Schwab has also made it perfectly clear that transhumanism is an integral part of the Great Reset. He has been quoted to say that the Fourth Industrial Revolution will lead to a fusion of our physical, digital, and biological identity, with implantable microchips that can read your thoughts. And then, when you thought it couldn't get worse than Klaus Schwab, enter Yuval Noah Harari, who is an Israeli public intellectual, historian, and professor in the Department of History at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He is also the chief advisor of Klaus Schwab, and like Schwab, is a strong advocate of transhumanism. In a Lighthouse article, they address some of the keen observations of Patrick Wood, chief editor of Technocracy News and Trends, where Wood is quoted as saying, "Not only is Harari the key advisor to the head of the WEF, he has millions of devoted followers. He is your model transhumanist who thinks he can become God. He is the chief philosophical advisor to the World Economic Forum, and one of the premier authorities in WEF circles. They hang on his every word," end quote. Jonathan Brentner, in a commentary for Rapture Forums, stated that the level of evil we are dealing with here is so intense that most Christians and conservatives have no idea how deep it goes, and will frankly have trouble believing it." End quote. Interestingly, while claiming to be an atheist, Harari attended Jesus College from 1998 to 2002 and the Hebrew University of Jerusalem from 1996 to 1998. He received his PhD from the University of Oxford in 2002. Harari lives in Israel with his husband, Isaac Yahav, with whom he founded Sapienship, a multidisciplinary organization for global responsibility, and is a professor in the Department of History at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. In 2018 and 2020, Harari gave keynote speeches on the future of humanity in Davos, Switzerland, on the World Economic Forum's main Congress hall stage. He regularly discusses issues with heads of state and has had public conversations with the leaders of many countries, including French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. In 2019, Harari sat down for a film discussion on technology and the future of society with Facebook's, now known as Meta, CEO Mark Zuckerberg. And in 2018, he presented the first ever TED Talk, which stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, delivered by a digital avatar. His books, including Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, and Sapiens, A Graphic History, are embraced worldwide. Collectively, they have sold over 40 million copies in 65 languages. Barack Obama, for one, has said that Harari is his favorite author. Harari's influence scans the landscape of the entire world. And to understand just how Antichrist, this agent of darkness, is, the following are just a sampling of his beliefs, which are direct and, may I add, blasphemous quotes. History began when humans invented gods and will end when humans become gods. God is dead. It just takes a while to get rid of the body. Hitler and Stalin would be nothing compared to the combination of AI and biotech. Free will is incompatible with scientific findings, and the easiest humans to manipulate are those who believe in free will. Humans are hackable animals that will be re-engineered. We are upgrading Homo sapiens into gods. We see a change in the nature of surveillance. Previously, surveillance was mainly above the skin. Now it's going under the skin. The vast majority of the world's 7.5 billion people are simply no longer needed due to technological advances in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and bioengineering. The resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead is fake news, as is the Bible. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection, with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds, but by our intelligent design. The whole idea that humans have this soul or spirit, or that they have a free will, and nobody knows what is happening inside of me. So whatever I choose, whether in an election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will. That's over. We need to work with the beast and not against it. End of quotes. And I'll stop here, beloved, even though there is much more that I could share, because I believe you get the picture. Some have suggested that Harari might be the Antichrist. Others suggest Emmanuel Macron. Time will tell. At the very least, they, along with other possible candidates that have been crafted from the Antichrist template, are his formidable forerunners who are setting the stage for the people of earth to fall into submission to the ultimate and final man of lawlessness, who will be revealed after the rapture of God's legitimate church. Our takeaway as the blood-bought children of God should be that the last things are upon us. Now is the time to stand all the more firmly on his unadulterated word of truth, and to shine the light of salvation's promise to those who are still captivated in the darkness of Satan's lies, while there is still time. So please keep shining, beloved, and do not waver, for our God reigns supreme, and he is coming back for us just as he promised. And, as always, I bid you his agape.
You've been listening to Love's Last Call with Evangelist Carol Ann of Agape Light Ministries. If you have a prayer request, please contact us at Agape Light Ministries, P.O. Box 6313, Chesterfield, Missouri 63006, or via our website at www.agapelightministries.com. Again, that's www.agapelightministries.com.